guys. So thanks for tuning in. Listen, I wanted to just talk to my brothers here today, men and women. But, primarily I think my voice is for men because we go through so many different things in our life. And, a lot of these YouTube videos are not really scripted. This is just me, talking from my heart about things that are near and dear to me, things that I've experienced in my life, things that have been helpful for me throughout my life. And so, as the caption indicates, I wanted to talk about restraint, and I wanted to talk about what that means, for men and in our life. And actually, it's kind of a different perspective than what you might think. I'll start out by mentioning my book. I have a book out called, it's been out for a few years. It's called Lean, Declutter Your Life. Here's the book, and you can find it on Amazon. The link is in the bio, and the book is called Lean, Declutter Your Life. And basically, it is a book that helps you get rid of all of the things that are in your life that are stopping you from obtaining clarity and becoming the best version of yourselves. And sometimes in our lives, we have so many different things that we're unable to really hone down and see what the true purpose of our life is. And because of clutter and different things, both physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and more so even in your environment, having a cluttered environment sometimes can mean that you have a cluttered mind. And one thing that I found, especially being prior military, and I talk about that in my book as well, living in a house where, my mom was a meticulous housekeeper, and being in the military, I found that having a decluttered area, your environment, is really important because it helps you to really hone down on what's important. In the military, you would only carry the things that you needed to, especially when we're deployed into combat, you only carry the things that you need to. And it forces you, in a sense, to focus on what's important. It removes all of that other stuff and allows you to singularly focus on the thing that is important. And when you do that, you become more productive, you become more clear. And it's just so many benefits that I talk about that in the book. So with regard to restraint, one of the things that I like to do personally is I do intermittent fasting. I do a lot of intermittent fasting. I do a lot of saunas. In fact, I've got a sauna right here in my room. And it starts out, because it's one of those things that's great because it restrains my body. And let me read you this definition, what I found online, what restraint actually means. And then I kind of expound on that and give you some points on what that is. And so number one, restraint it says that restraint is a measure or condition that keeps someone or something under control within limits. Okay. Under control or within limits. And I'll kind of talk about the body aspect of it because a lot of men, I'm 47 years old. I try to keep myself together. I look a little bit younger than what most people think I am, but I try to keep it together. And one of the things that I do is intermittent fasting, and intermittent fasting is an exercise on restraint, right? It limits your food intake, and you can Google all the benefits. There's so many great benefits of intermittent fasting, so many specials that have been done on it. You can do your research on it. The health benefits are limitless on what, and I've been doing this for the past 10 years. And so what restraint does is, particularly with intermittent fasting, is that you're used to limiting your body. So I'm not going to edit this out because I want this to be real. I want you to know, like, I'm a real guy, behind the camera and talking to you guys about real things, so I try to, have some of my content polished and stuff like that. But particularly with these videos, I don't want to do that because I really want to get your heart. I really want to get your mind. I want you to know, like, at the end of the day, I'm a real guy out here. I'm making content, but I'm a real person. And sometimes in these, these videos, there might be some mistakes here and there, but that's okay because we strive to be authentic. We strive to be the best version of ourselves in every single way. But at the same time, we want to strive for excellence in the things that we do. So back to my point. Intermittent fasting is an exercise in restraint. It allows you to go multiple days or some. Well, I've gotten to the point where I've gone multiple days without food, but it allows you to go multiple days or hours without food, and you become used to being in a deficit. You become used to not always giving into what your body wants, and for men, that's really important because it shows discipline and it acts discipline in your everyday life. And plus, you get the benefits of it in your body and how you feel and different things like that. I like watching the Joe Rogan podcast, and he talks about I think he's the owner of the UFC, and he went on a 30-40 day fast, and the benefits from that were phenomenal. And so I really love it because it not only helps me physically, but mentally, it helps me to really get used to sometimes just being in a hunger state and realizing, you know what, I got this under control. I'm not gonna, crush, some wings or fries, And then what I found like over time is that mentally I get a lot more clarity. I'm sometimes a lot more productive at work because you don't have all that food weighing you down. You're able to really clearly think, and sometimes eating all of the time can really cause you to be sluggish. And so that is an exercise in restraint. And so for men, it's really important that we get used to doing that, not always giving into our proclivities, sexually, physically, mentally, in all of those ways, even emotionally, popping off at the handle or getting upset or getting overly emotional about things. Sometimes it's good to exercise that restraint, and I found that to be a very helpful thing. um, and for men, it's good sometimes that we have a certain degree of pain or what you want to say uncomfortability, right? It's good sometimes to be uncomfortable because it stretches you and it allows you to be tap into an aspect of yourself that is not always easy, but you're used to doing difficult things that will bring out greater characteristics in your personality and in your life. And so you might go a couple of days without food, or you might go 12 hours without food, but the benefit that you have when you look in the mirror or how you feel far outweighs that. And as a man, that's really important because you go in your life with confidence, knowing that, listen, I know that I can, pull away from the table. I know that I've got myself under control in certain areas. And just kind of like the definition says, it says that a measure or condition that keeps someone under control or within limits. You got to learn to keep yourself within limits. And that can even mean your weight, how you feel, the things that you do, the places you go, the things that you watch. Keep yourself within limits. Kind of there's a scripture in the Bible that says, the Apostle Paul, he says, he constantly beats away his flesh. And I'm not quoting it verbatim, but he says he beats his flesh to keep those things at bay. And so I think that's a really good characteristic for man. And I think when you do that, you'll find you'll just get better in so many different ways. Any athlete or extreme sport person will tell you that you have to be used to being in pain because it brings out some of the greater characteristics in your life. So I just wanted to drop that. I hope that was beneficial to you guys. I really appreciate you chiming in. Like and subscribe. I'll be posting up some additional content. Hit me up. Let me know what you guys would like to listen to or to get some information on. I'm pretty well versed in a lot of different areas, and I'll display that on my channel over time. So I appreciate you guys. Like and subscribe. Follow me. And listen, as I often say, I believe in you. You got this, okay? Take it easy.